excited for tomorrow. I love Magkaisa Day.
Oh, I know, me too!
I wonder what Jonathan's going to wear.
What are you guys chismising about?
Oh, we're actually talking about the Magkaisa Day tomorrow. What are you gonna wear?
What?
You know, Magkaisa Day, where we celebrate unity and oneness. And you know, most of all, it's fun.
I wonder what Jonathan's going to wear.
What's Jonathan gonna wear? What are you going to wear, Scooby? You always have the worst outfits on Magkaisa Day. Yep, get on that computer. You're gonna need to do some research.
Hark! Sino siya? Pare. What's that? Is it Magkaisa Day already? Oh shoot, I must have slept. Hindi, bakit? We're supposed to wear Grecian outfits for Magkaisa Day. Where did you get your costume? Man, it looks so real. Pare, we are in 3500 BC. What? Jasmine, can you please show our friend around? Pare, can I see the scroll? Yeah. Salamat.
And this is where the Quiros family started. That's Eileen. She's our philosopher of accounting and the best mathematician.
Wow.
And that's Maricel. She's our founder. And she teaches the children the secrets of living rich.
Wow. I can use a lot of this information.
What information?
For my wardrobe. I want to be the best dressed for Magkaisa Day.
You're a funny man, Sir Scooby. You're cute.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Excuse me, Kuya. I have a message from the royal court. Para sa mga taong gustong bumili ng bahay, now you can do so. It's a new instrument that was created in another land. Now, instead of saving 100 years, you can buy a home now. It's called mortgage.
Mortgage? Doesn't that mean debt pledge? Kawawa naman ang pamilya ko.
Huwag ka nang makialam. Nagde-deliver lang ako ng message.
Hey guys, don't worry. I'm a loan officer. The company I work for, we do these kinds of things. We help people all the time.
Countryman, he speaks the truth. We've seen the future, and this is how they buy properties then.
That's true. But how?
You'll have to watch this week's episode,
Tara, Kapuso! The wait is over!
and you're on the right channel.
It's time to catch up with the show that's #1 on your list.
Kaya mo gawin dito sa
KMG!
Kamusta Go Winners, and welcome to the show that was specifically designed to get you back on track.
Yes, correct ka dyan. And Jojo and I and our lovely staff have been working around the clock to give you financial tools that you can use today. Now think of this show as a resource for all your financial concerns.
That's right, Hunt, but what about si Sir Scooby in the oficina? It was so funny that he actually got to see our office in action 5,000 years ago in the Garden of Knowledge.
I know, that's so funny. But the point is that mortgages have been here thousands of years ago. Before there was America, it already has been used as a financial tool.
That's right, and if we split up the word mortgage, and we look at it on the root level, it means death pledge. Kawawa naman, mortgage, death pledge, di ba?
I know, kawawa. Pero sigurado na yun, kung may bahay ka, may mortgage, right? But what do you do if your bahay is devalued, pero yung mortgage mo, ang laki pa rin?
That's right, upside down, or worse yet, what if you lost a job and you're starting to fall behind on your mortgage payments?
I know.
Grabe.
Who knew that a product created thousands of years ago is creating lots of problems now and actually is causing families to lose their homes?
That's right, so stay tuned. As we return, we're gonna bring you the hottest topic on foreclosure defense. Kasi
Kaya mo gawin dito sa
KMG!
Are you struggling to make your mortgage payments? With an FHA-insured reverse program, you absolutely stop making mortgage payments for as long as you live. To qualify, you must 1. Be 62 years of age or older. 2. Have a property that is owner-occupied. 3. Make the payments for insurance and taxes. Easy to qualify with a mortgage-only credit check. Go to www.bankingdoor.com to start putting the money back into your life.
Hello, my friends. I'm Professor Hans von Puppet here today to talk about refinancing your mortgage. Did you know interest rates are at an all-time low right now? That's right, they are way down. You know what that means? It means you should consider refinancing your mortgage to a lower rate. Think about all the things you could do with the money you'll save. Other than saving it, of course. A super overpriced haircut, maybe. A diamond-encrusted Mercedes-Benz. An imaginary friend. A Nick Cage pillowcase. The possibilities are literally endless. But seriously, go to www.bankingdoor.com to see how much you can save.
Money Minute, your quick trip to financial well-being. Now here's JoJo and Maricel Quiroz.
Hi, JoJo and Maricel here, your personal financial trainers, ready to give you your weekly money-making exercise. We do all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is flex your money muscle.
Welcome back to KMG Money Minutes. Today we're going to talk about what is a reverse mortgage.
We're going to review some FAQs on what this program can do for you. Today we focus on your golden years. Reverse mortgage is an FHA program where you can refinance, pull money out without ever having to make another mortgage payment for as long as you and your spouse lives. This is a helpful financial senior tool for homeowners. Interested in this program? Here are my 5 tips for you. Tip number 1, you and your spouse have to be a minimum of 62 years of age. Tip number 2, no more mortgage payments, but you're still responsible for the taxes and insurance. Tip number 3, good news, no credit scoring on this product. Tip number 4, you can get lump sum or an annuity, so select the one that best meets your needs. My last tip, tip number 5, the bank isn't after your property, so do the research on this FHA product and keep an open mind, because this could be the very financial tool to help you live comfortably in your golden years. Thank you, Kapuso. Today we are going to be talking about a little-known legal tool to help you save your home, whether you're on time with your payments or whether you're under the foreclosure process.
Yes, we're going to be talking about foreclosure defense, and we're going to unravel those mysteries right now here for you. So honey, what exactly is foreclosure defense?
Well, foreclosure defense is, here's a typical scenario. You know, when you're 30 days late, you get a phone call. When I say late, late with a mortgage payment. 30 days late, not so bad. The lender thinks that, oh, you know, they probably missed a payment or got missed in the mail. By 60 days late, they now know, oh, something could be going on. And then basically what happens is you get letters in the mail and you get phone calls from the lender saying, oh, hey, you make the payment. By 90 days, that's when you hit the red zone. And basically the red zone now is when the lenders are saying, you know what, we're going to file notice of intent to foreclose, we're going to be sending you letters, you get all those harassing phone calls. That's what happens before foreclosure defense even plays into the picture. Now, there are 2 types of states. There is what's called a judicial foreclosure state and a non-judicial foreclosure state.
Okay, so in general, it takes about 90 days, and it depends on what state the borrower lives in.
That's right. Like for instance, Florida is a judicial foreclosure state. Okay. Illinois is a judicial foreclosure state. California is both. Judicial foreclosure state means that a lender has to go by the law of that state to foreclose. So if you have to go by the law, then by hiring an attorney to represent you, you can actually combat the lender on their own turf and use the law in your favor to extend it out 18 months or even longer.
I see. So this is where the foreclosure train will happen, but then that attorney can slow down the foreclosure train.
That's right. You know, what happens is that, you know, the train is going to hit the station no matter what, okay? Yeah. but it's going to slow it down long enough. It's never going to stop it completely, but it will slow it down long enough to give you time to get back on your feet.
So it gives the borrower time to find a new job, to maybe figure out what they want to do.
Right, and you know, there's a lot of strategies behind foreclosure defense, and the reason it's a little known tool is because a lot of our, you know, viewers and a lot of people out there, a lot of Americans out there, what they do is they either right away file, you know, the B word or
the bankruptcy
thing, or they just let the property go. They said, you know, inis na ako, enough is enough, I'm just gonna walk away.
Yes,
you
and
know?
a foreclosure defense takes a look at the mortgage documents, does a forensic analysis, and see if the mortgage is defective.
Right, not only that, but it also it has to follow the legal process. And we know sometimes the legal process can take a long, long time.
And so the foreclosure defense attorney will stop that foreclosure, which we call...
It's going to stop it immediately, and it'll slow it down to give you time to, again, get back on your feet.
And so this attorney would also appear in court to slow down the bank's attorneys.
That's right.
Correct.
So, again, winners, you won't want to miss this, because up next we have our own foreclosure defense specialist. Leading defense specialist, Attorney Doug Matten. You know, in any sports, a good offense starts with a great defense. So grab a pen and paper, because when we return, we're going to have our own self-defense coach when we return.
Are you struggling to make your mortgage payments? With an FHA-insured reverse program, you absolutely stop making mortgage payments for as long as you live. To qualify, you must 1. Be 62 years of age or older. 2. Have a property that is owner-occupied. 3. Make the payments for insurance and taxes. Easy to qualify with a mortgage-only credit check. Go to www.bankingdoor.com to start putting the money back into your life.
Hello my friends, I'm Professor Hans von Puppet here today to talk about refinancing your mortgage. Did you know interest rates are at an all-time low right now? That's right, they are way down. You know what that means? It means you should consider refinancing your mortgage to a lower rate. Think about all the things you could do with the money you'll save. Other than saving it, of course. A super overpriced haircut maybe, a diamond-encrusted Mercedes-Benz, an imaginary friend, a Nick Cage pillowcase. The possibilities are literally endless. But seriously, go to www.bankingdoor.com to see how much you can save.
Money Minutes, your quick trip to financial well-being. Now here's JoJo and Maricel Quiroz.
Hi, JoJo and Maricel here, your personal financial trainers, ready to give you your weekly money-making exercise. We do all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is flex your money muscle.
Hi, Kapuso, and welcome back to KMG Money Minutes. Have you ever wanted to write a business plan?
Well, here's Peter Miet on 5 tips on how to write a successful business plan.
Hi, I'm Peter Miet. I've got 5 tips for writing the perfect business plan. The first one is visualize clearly what it is the business is about, what you're going to do, how you're going to start it, what the customers look like. The more time you spend visualizing that, writing the business plan is a snap. The second thing you need to do is make sure the business is going to support not just itself, but the lifestyle you want to lead. The third thing is understand where you're strong and where you're weak. When you put together the business plan, if you're not a good writer, get the help, but make sure you do the work of doing the business plan. Fourth thing is execute it, but don't give up on it. If you run into an obstacle when you're actually launching your business, don't throw your plan away. Figure out where you went wrong and change it. And finally, and the most important thing that I can tell you, make sure you're ready for this trip, because it's not for everybody. There is no better way to spend your life. I'm useless in a job now, and I hope you will be too.
We brought you the country's leading foreclosure defense specialist, Attorney Doug Matten. Doug, thanks for being on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
And you know, I'm sure I didn't have to force you here, because your longtime girlfriend is Kapuso. She's also a good winner. And she's going to be watching the show, diba?
True.
Okay, so Doug, you know, kanina on the show we talked about foreclosure defense, just in general, okay? A little bit in, so a little like summary, but you tell me now. I want our viewers to get more out of this. So what is it about foreclosure defense specialists that you can give as an overview, or a little more than an overview?
Well, in a nutshell, it helps homeowners stay in their house on their own timetable. Because as you probably know, we're in a foreclosure crisis right now, and the banks are trying to get these properties quickly.
Okay.
Well, if you engage an attorney to help you in that process, it essentially slows the process down to a crawl.
Okay. And like we said earlier, you know, it slows it down. So it slows the train down. It never stops it.
It can in certain situations. If there's a modification of the loan, then it stops it.
Okay.
It's stop cold.
Okay. Now, as far as foreclosure defense, I mean, how do you see that as an alternative to bankruptcy? You know, a lot of people say, hey, I'm just going to file bankruptcy, and worse yet, I'm just going to walk away from my house.
First and foremost, if you file bankruptcy, you're giving up the house unless you reaffirm the debt.
Okay.
Okay. Second of all, if you file bankruptcy, you could be out of the house quicker. Third, if you file bankruptcy, it's essentially like dropping an atomic bomb on your credit.
Okay.
You just ruin everything.
Okay. I have a fourth one.
Okay.
Okay, the fourth one is you still have to qualify for the bankruptcy, right?
Very true.
So, you know, you might not even qualify for a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13 to save that. So bankruptcy, you're saying, is the final and last option?
It should be.
Okay, so foreclosure defense is a strategy that you would use prior to bankruptcy?
Of course.
Okay. Can you walk me through, Doug, kind of like a scenario that you've seen with your clients in foreclosure defense? Like, okay, let me back up. What is kind of like a sweet spot of foreclosure defense for you, for your client? Is it someone who's late, like a month or two? Is it someone who's not late? Is it someone who's already gone down that path?
All three. If I see everything under the spectrum, and usually my clients either are in fear that they're going to miss a payment,
okay,
or they already have missed a payment.
Okay.
Some of my clients have come to me after they've not only missed a payment, but a judgment's been entered against them.
Okay.
And in all three of those stages, I can still help them. Every case is different, every property is different, every situation is different. So we tailor the defense towards what the client wants, what the homeowner wants.
Okay, so walk me through an example of a live client that you've been working with.
Well, I have a young lady who wants to stay in her house, and she's missed several payments, went into foreclosure. She has been in her house now for over 3 years without making a payment. And she's still trying to modify the loan. A modification can take an extremely long time, so what you need to do is slow the process down until you get a decision on the modification.
Okay, so what it does then is it allows you to kind of have it on your own time versus like the bank's time or the process.
Correct, because the bank's attorneys get paid when they get a judgment.
Is that how that works?
Exactly. That is exactly how it works. So they push to try to get that judgment. You need somebody to push back to slow that process down until the client or the homeowner can get a decision on the application for modification.
Okay, so now we know that attorneys on the bank side get paid when they push that foreclosure through and they get that property back.
Yep.
That's why they get so pushy, right? So for our go-inners and our viewers out there, you know, if that's something that you need to have as kind of like on your defense, you need an attorney working on your behalf as well. Is that right?
Most definitely.
Okay. Now, we were talking earlier on the show that all attorneys are not created equal, you know, and your specialty is foreclosure defense. Can you elaborate a little more on that and why, you know, just not an attorney that's practicing something else can maybe help out as well as you can on a foreclosure defense?
Well, unless you are specializing in this area, you're not going to know the current happenings and decisions in the law, and you're not going to know what works and what doesn't. And it's kind of like a heart surgeon trying to do brain surgery. It just doesn't work.
Hello, my friends. I'm Professor Hans von Puppet here today to talk about refinancing your mortgage. Did you know interest rates are at an all-time low right now? That's right, they are way down. You know what that means? It means you should consider refinancing your mortgage to a lower rate. Think about all the things you could do with the money you'll save. Other than saving it, of course. A super overpriced haircut, maybe. A diamond-encrusted Mercedes-Benz. An imaginary friend. A Nick Cage pillowcase. The possibilities are literally endless. But seriously, go to www.bankingdoor.com to see how much you can save.
Are you struggling to make your mortgage payments? With an FHA-insured reverse program, you absolutely stop making mortgage payments for as long as you live. To qualify, you must 1. Be 62 years of age or older. 2. Have a property that is owner-occupied. 3. Make the payments for insurance and taxes. Easy to qualify with a mortgage-only credit check. Go to www.bankingdoor.com to start putting the money back into your life.
Money Minutes, your quick trip to financial well-being. Now here's JoJo and Maricel Quiroz.
Hi, JoJo and Maricel here, your personal financial trainers, ready to give you your weekly money-making exercise. We do all the heavy lifting. All you have to do is flex your money muscle.
Welcome back to another segment of KMG Money Minutes. Today we have our good friend Rick Sharga, VP of Auctions.com, sharing his 5 tips on how to successfully bid on an auction online.
Well, if you're looking to purchase a property, auctions might be the way to go.
Hi, I'm Rick Sharga, Executive Vice President with Auction.com, coming to you from a live auction in Southern California with 5 investing tips. The first one is have a plan for the type of investment you're most interested in doing. My second tip is before you go into the market, get your financing in place. Third tip would be to have an exit strategy. If you are a buy and hold investor, understand how long you're going to keep that property, what you're going to need your average rental returns to be, and if that is something that you're looking to count on for your investment return as opposed to home price appreciation and ultimate resale value. Fourth tip is a little bit of motherhood and apple pie, but it's do your homework up front. And finally, if you're going to buy through an auction, make sure before you get to the auction, before you go to the auction online, you know what the price you're willing to pay for a property is. Those are my 5 tips for today. I hope they're useful for you, and good luck with your investing.
Right, and I know we were talking earlier as well, and you were talking to me about the relationships you've developed with the attorneys that are actually working on the other side, or what we call the dark side. So you're trying to bring them into the light. But anyway, by knowing the different attorneys that represent these different banks, you found that it was easier to make deals happen. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, here's an example. I have a client who has been in foreclosure for 18 months already.
Okay.
And the reason why he's in foreclosure is because he lost his job. He has kids in school, and he realizes that he's no longer going to be able to keep this house. Right. It's a large house, and he doesn't need all the space. He wants to give the house back on his timetable, meaning he wants his kids to get through this last year of school. The school year ends in June. I have the ability, just by virtue of the relationships I built up over years of doing this, to be able to call the supervising attorney at
of the bank,
of the firm that's prosecuting the foreclosure, and say, look, we can continue to fight, or we can make a deal that my people will get out at the end of this school year, and we don't have to continue to litigate this. And that way my people know that on July 1st, they're going to be out of the house, and they're not going to have the sheriff kick their door in at some point between now and then.
Right. Now, Doug, let's say you live in a non-judicial foreclosure state.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do if you can't use the law on your side?
Well, you always can use the law on your side.
Okay.
First and foremost, there could be problems with the initial formation of the mortgage. There are certain federal statutes which govern these types of transactions. And if there is a violation of one of those federal statutes, that will essentially bring the foreclosure process to a standstill.
Okay.
But you need to consult an attorney, because the attorney is going to be able to review those documents, do a forensic accounting of those documents, and say, yes, this particular statute was violated, and we can raise this.
Okay. Is there any other tips that you have before we close, this part of it for our viewers? Okay, as far as what they need to do if they feel that this is something that that might be a strategy for them.
They definitely need to call their attorney right now. They need to call somebody and at least get a consultation, so that they can have a certain peace of mind that they did whatever they could to see whether or not they can save the house.
Now, Go Winners, I hope we have given you and helped you to enlighten what you can put in your financial toolkit. Now, remember what JoJo says, knowing is half the battle.
That's right, and doing is the other half of the battle. And we'll be back next week when we come back with much more information. Right, hon?
Yes.
That's right. So, you never have to look too far to find your hidden fortune. Sometimes it's right in front of you. You just have to know where to look.
And we're here to help. That's money in your bank that you can count on. Now, until next time mga kapuso, kaya mo gawin dito sa
KMG!
Know that!